Congress, Accord Party, and Labour Party have rejected it by the opposition summit, stating it does not represent plans to field separate candidates against President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 elections. The PDP National Working Committee backed the ministers of the Federal Capital Territory in some weekend claimed that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Senate President David Mark, former Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso and Peter Obi and other opposition figures were misled by impostors who organized the summits. In response, the All Progressive Congress rejected what it called attempts by opposition leaders to assert prayer through blackmail, stating that Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde is unfit to hold the office of his alleged inciting remarks about Operation Waiting during the summit. Ibadan meeting, PDP ADC blocks reject joint presidential ticket. The footage of this story is inside the Punch for today. Another story here with me in the Punch for today. Economists call for cash support to protect poor from fuel hikes. Energy economists who have called for targeted cash transfer to cushion the impact of rising fuel prices on the vulnerable in Nigeria as a station between the United States and Iran continue to unsettle global oil markets. The call was made on Sunday, ahead of the 19th Annual International Conference of the Nigeria Association for Energy Economics, scheduled to hold in Lagos from April 26 to 29, 2026, where stakeholders are expected to deliberate on the implications of global energy stocks on African economics. The former president of the association, Professor Adiola Adenikuju, said the current situation presents a two-edged sword for Nigeria, with potential revenue gains from higher oil prices on one hand and worsening economic advantage for citizens on the other hand. According to him, rising petrol costs have triggered increase in transportation fares and inflation, placing additional pressure on low-income households. Economists call for cash support to protect poor from fuel hikes. The footage of these stories inside the Punch for today. Another story here with me in the Punch for today. 2027 APC will feel integrity, credibility, and test, says ADC chieftain. A chieftain of African Democratic Congress, ADC, Ladiu Saliu, has declared that the All Progressive Congress led federal governments with Boko under the weight of Nigeria's anger and frustration at the 2027 general election. Saliu made the assertion during an appearance of Channel Television Sunday Politics, delivering a blunt verdict on President Bola Tinubu administration ahead of the next electoral cycle. ADC chieftain also intensified his passive push for the resignation or removal of the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman, Professor Josiah Akpikpiton, who he accused of failing both integrity and competency tests. Allegation ANEC has denied. 2027, APC will fail integrity, credibility test, says ADC chieftain. The footage of these stories inside the Punch for today. And before we go to the second edition of this program, which is the Guidance Newspaper, we would like to listen to what we have for you on our studio. We'll be right back for the second edition of this program.
Discover the uniqueness in the entertainment industry. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, is now the pace setter in the industry. Do you want to advertise your products and services? Count on us. We will do it much more than your expectations. African Broadcasting Network, ABN, will deliver quick and prompt services. Our quality and clarity stands us out when it comes to delivering quality broadcasting. Our staffs are hardworking and versatile in the specific field of office. Our environment is so conducive and we are open to all. We also give advice on how to run your business profitably. African Broadcasting Network is situated at
9894 Eastern Street, Suite 875, Houston, Texas 77036.
Contact phone 281-652-8396 and
832-490-8203.
Website www.abntvnetwork.com. ABN, celebrating Africans' rich culture.
Second edition of this program. And before we go to the guidance newspaper for today, if you'd like to watch us live and direct on our social media page, you can follow us, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click on our Facebook, ABNTV Austin, likewise on our YouTube, ABNTV Nigeria. You can also follow us on our Instagram, ABNTV Nigeria as well. And lastly, on our Twitter, you can follow us, like, share, comment, and subscribe on ABNTV Austin. And the second edition of this program, the guidance newspaper. Akinlade taxed politicians on free democracy, warned against overeating policy. The Bishop of the Diocese of Ife, Church of Nigeria, writes Reverend Olupumi Akinlade, has cautioned political actors against actions capable of overeating the national polity, warning that such tendencies pose a proof threat to the sustenance of democratic governance. Akinlade gave the charge at the weekend during the third session of 12th Synod of the Diocese of Ife, held at the Cathedral of St. Philip, Ayetoro, Ile-Ife, Osun State. He decried what he described as unprecedented political allegations and defections, noting that the threat, largely driven by personal interest, is gradually strengthening the country toward a one-party dominant system, which is said will be inimical to growth of democracy. Also, the Anglican Diocese of the Church has called on Nigeria to embrace godly parenting, uphold electoral integrity, and demand stronger security measures. Akinlade taxed politicians on free democracy, warned against overeating policy. The full details of these stories inside the guidance newspaper for today. Another story here with me in the guidance newspaper for today, which is the last story here with me. APC crisis fasters as 5 states face exclusion from primary convention. Fresh concerns have emerged within the All Progressive Congress (ADC) following allegations that 4 states may be sidelined from participating fully in the party primary and presidential convention due to unresolved disputes over the states of some people's national officers. However, the Senate has dismissed speculation that its relations with the presidency may be strained over the reported refusals of President Bola Tinubu to guarantee automatic tickets for reforming lawmakers. Particularly, those locked on the APC platform, the controversies come barely a month after the inaugurations of a new set of national executives, with party stakeholders warning that growing internal disagreements could threaten position ahead of the 2027 general elections. And the censors of the dispute have claimed that a directive of Tinubu to include all deputy national officers in the National Working Committee has not been fully implemented. APC crisis fosters as 5 states face exclusion from primary convention. The full details of these stories inside the guidance newspaper for today. That's what we have for the newspaper review. If you'd like to follow us live and direct on our social media page on Facebook, you can like, share, comment, subscribe, and click on ABNTV Austin. Likewise on our YouTube, you can like, share, comment, and click on ABNTV Nigeria as well. And also, you can also like, share, comment, subscribe on our Instagram and click on ABNTV Nigeria as well. And we also have a Twitter. You can like, share, comment, subscribe, and click on ABNTV Austin. Likewise, for those of you that are also using TikTok, you can also follow us on ABNTV Nigeria as well. My name is Kenny Afolabi. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. And I wish you a blessed and prosperous day ahead. Bye for now.